Hey guys, so today's video is going to show you how to do Project 2, Activity 1, which you should see posted in the assignment section or in the conversation section of Teams. Now, our second project for skill building is a project that's going to have you create a resume. Now, if you don't know what a resume is, I'm going to show you an example here quick. This is my own resume. So a resume is basically a document that you use as a tool to help you get a job. It's a document that is designed to help you sell your experience to somebody who's looking to hire. So you want to include things on your resume that make you look good or that make you look like you would be a good candidate to hire for whatever job it is you're looking for. So you can look at my resume and you'll see up at the top my contact information, some of my experiences that qualify me for my job, some of things about where I got my education and other service honors and awards that I have. That's all part of my resume. So you're going to create a resume for this project, but since you guys don't have any work experience yet, and you haven't lived enough life to have a lot of things to put on your own resume, we're going to spice this project up a little bit by having you create a resume for someone else. So if you read the instructions on this assignment, you are going to create a professional resume for one of the following options. You can choose either to make a resume for a superhero who is applying for the position of the most heroic hero of all time. You can choose to make a resume for a supervillain who's applying for the position of the most dastardly villain of all time. Or you can make a resume for an athlete who's applying for the position of the most valuable player in their sport. So you'll pick one of those options and you're going to create a resume for somebody who you choose. For this assignment, for part one or activity one of this assignment, there are 4 steps. The first step is to create a blank document and title it Resume Brainstorm. That's already down here where it says Resume Brainstorm. We're going to open that up in a second. On your brainstorm document, you're going to add your contact information, work experiences, and education history. Now, remember, that's not for you. That's for the superhero, supervillain, or athlete who you're creating your resume for. And then you're going to add 5 to 7 skills and 3 to 5 awards or activities. So the rubric is also down here, just like it was for the last project. It's going to remain down there on every assignment we do, so you can always check and see how this project is going to be graded. For now, we're going to open up this document that says Resume Brainstorm. And when you open it up, the first thing we're going to do is we are going to give it a title. So I'm going to center my title by clicking up here, align center. I'm going to make my title bold and I'm going to underline it. I'm just going to title it Resume Brainstorm. Now you can play with your formatting however you want. I'm going to make this a little bit larger. And then I'm going to hit enter and drop down a line. I'm going to go back to left alignment. I'm going to turn off the bold and the underline. And the next thing I have to do is I have to brainstorm contact info, work experiences, and education history for my character. Now, I'm going to do this example about a superhero. You can do yours about a supervillain or an athlete, and your athlete might actually have, real contact info if it's based on a real person, but I'm going to make mine about a superhero. So I'm going to say, let's see, my superhero, well, first I have to do contact information. So I'm going to set up a section. I'm going to underline section for contact info. I'm going to go down the line and turn off the underlining. And my superhero is going to be, let's see, I'll do Batman. I'm just going to do Batman. And then his contact info is going to be, I don't know if Batman has an actual address, but I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, Bat Cave Lane, Gotham City. I don't know if Gotham City is supposed to be in a certain state. I'm just going to say New York. And then I'll make up like a zip code. 19845. And I guess this is supposed to be down on the next line. So, and his email address should also be on there. So make it I am Batman at gmail.com. And a phone number, I suppose, too. So we'll say like 555 555 5555. That's Batman's phone number in case you ever want to call him. All right, so we got contact info. Now we need work experience. So I'm going to drop down 2 lines, underline a section for work experience. Now, work experience, you want to include in this section, you should have at least 3 jobs that your character has had before. Now, these should not just be any jobs. You want them to be jobs that qualify your character for the position that they are applying for. Now, if you're doing the superhero, they're applying to be the most heroic hero of all time. If you're doing the supervillain, they're trying to be the most dastardly villain of all time. And if you're doing the athlete, they're looking for most valuable player in their sport. So you want jobs that kind of make them look like they deserve that. So Batman, I'm going to say for his work experience, now I'm making this all up. This is creative work. I'm using my imagination here, but I'm going to say Batman's most recent job was protector of Gotham City. Now, with the work experience, you also want to include when they did that job. So we're going to say that Batman got hired in that job. I'll just make it up. Say like August of 1995 to present. Batman's been around a lot longer than that, but that's what I'm going to put. Present would just mean he's still doing that job now. And then you should also describe that job a little bit. So I'm going to go down below and I'm going to say job involved responding to bat signals, beating up bad guys, and in parentheses I'll put some of the bad guys that I beat up: Joker, Penguin, TC for etc. Beating up bad guys, maintaining law and order, and filing paperwork. Okay, so that's going to be Batman's first job. Now, need to come up with 3 jobs. So you would want to have jobs that he did before that too. So he started that one in August 1995, and then you would have 2 former jobs as well. I'm going to let that up to you. My next section is education history. So I'm going to do an underline, education history, close the underline, and these would be schools that they attended. So definitely want a college and a high school. So for college, I'll put University of Gotham City. What degree he got? So I'll say bachelor's degree in criminal justice. We'll want to put what year they graduated. Graduated in, say, 1978. And we want to put what their grade point average was. We'll say that Batman graduated with like a, 98%. Pretty good student. Then we want a high school too. So make sure you have a university and a high school in there. I'm going to skip the high school for now. I'm going to drop down to my next section. I need skills. So I'm going to do underline skills. Now, skills come in 2 categories. There are hard skills and soft skills. For this resume to Brainstorm, you need 5 to 7 skills. At least 4 of your skills need to be hard skills. Now, a hard skill is a skill that is technical, that relates specifically to the job that you are applying for. It's a skill that you are going to use every day on that job. I'm going to come up with some examples of some hard skills for teaching. For example, in my job, I have the skill of being able to use PowerSchool. PowerSchool is a tool that I use to enter grades in my job every day. So using that software, that's a hard skill that I have. It relates directly to a tool that I use, something that I know how to do. I know how to use Office 365. That's a hard skill that I have. Let me think. Another hard skill that I have is I have the skill of being able to, use my Promethean board, which is the screen that I have in the front of the classroom. I have technology skills. That's a hard skill. Those are all hard skills. They're very specific. They relate specifically to things that I use or do day to day in my job. A hard skill for Batman might be he is very good at driving the Batmobile. So he is an expert Batmobile driver. We might even spice it up a little bit and say licensed in all 50 states. Okay, that's a hard skill. Now, you need 4 hard skills. A soft skill is another skill that you have that doesn't relate specifically to a tool that you use or a technique that you do. It's just something more like a good quality about yourself. Like a good quality or a soft skill for teaching might be I have good classroom management skills, right? I know how to discipline students, or I know how to listen well whenever students have questions. That's a soft skill. A soft skill for Batman might be that he is super watchful and attentive. So he always notices whenever a crime is happening. That's a soft skill. That's just a quality about yourself that would make you a good fit for the job, but it's not very specific to a tool or technique. If you have questions about the difference between hard skills and soft skills, make sure to ask me in class. That can be kind of tough to understand. You need 5 to 7 skills. 4 of them need to be hard skills. Okay, next I need a section on awards and activities. So for Batman, these would be awards that he's earned or activities that he participated in when he was in college or high school or even afterwards that fit him for this job. So let's say maybe he got an award for being the Darkest Night Award in college. So we'll say he was the Darkest Night Award. And then we should describe what that award is. We'll say awarded to the darkest, most mysterious crime fighter in the criminal justice program at the University of Gotham City. So he got that award when he was in college. Okay, so that's an award. Maybe an activity would be like a club or a sport or any leadership position that he was involved in that might make him well suited for that job. Like let's say maybe he was president of the Crime Fighters Club. And then we should describe what that involved, what he had to do as president, what that club was all about. Maybe he was just a member of the club. Maybe he wasn't the president of the club. Maybe he was just a member. Okay, so that would be an activity. You need to come up with 3 to 5 awards or activities for your character. This is just brainstorming, so you can come up with more than that. Same way with skills, you can come up with more than you need because you're only going to put on the resume, the official resume, your actual project, some of the ones that you select. This is just brainstorming. You can come up with more than you're actually going to use right now. If you have questions, make sure to ask me in class. And when you get done brainstorming, you can hit turn in on this assignment.